right, everybody. Thank you for clicking on the video. We got some really breaking stuff here, dealing with somebody who's going to probably find herself locked up real soon. One and only Letitia James. That's right, the attorneys generals up in New York, as you are all aware. She's been one of the lead in the forefront trying to destroy President Trump with the last year or so with her fake indictments, and there's like $435 million binge on her part with all this fakery of fraud when it comes to his Mar-a-Lago property and all these other properties, which is out of her jurisdiction to begin with. But before we get to that, because there's a really, really good video I'm going to play, which it just aired on another show and it's hilarious. I'm going to dissect that, but before I do that, I want to please remind everybody to hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification so you know when my next video is going to be coming up here. And please don't forget, give me a thumbs up. I mean, give me the finger, thumbs up. And if you have any comments, of course, you can leave them below. Whatever you want to talk about. If you have any topics you want me to get to, you know what to do. Now, with that out of the way, I do have, like I said, a clip which I'm going to play. But, again, just to kind of bring some people up to speed, Letitia James, the district attorney general in New York, is projecting something that she is now allegedly guilty of onto Trump. Her entire witch hunt was based on he falsified documents, right, to inflate his net worth and to oversell his property. And she claims by hundreds of millions of dollars, right? He defrauded the banks. Mind you, the banks said, no, he didn't. We were all happy with Donald Trump and we wanted to do more business with the guy. He was great. And they even testified in his favor, but it didn't matter. This was her way of, hoping to rig the 2024 election, and it backfired, as we all know. Trump won; he's the president, but she still doesn't get it. And remember, they told her loud and clear to end this, shenanigans, or she's gonna find her fat.
Let me just say this to Big Tish James, the New York Attorney General. I dare you. I dare you to try to continue your lawfare against President Trump in his second term. Because listen here, sweetheart, we're not messing around this time. And we will put your fat ass in prison for conspiracy against rights. And I promise you that. So think long and hard before you want to violate President Trump's constitutional rights or any other American's constitutional rights. It's not going to happen again.
Okay, she's the one that committed fraud. She's the one that kind of has some things to answer about, including something very weird and disgusting, which it's a pattern I'm noticing here with Democrats. She, in one of her properties, claims her dad was her husband. I mean, is that like a new thing now with Democrats? Like Elon Omar claimed her brother was her husband so that she can get, like, sneak this guy into the country. It turns out that Letitia James might have done the same thing, but she did it to, like, sell, not even sell, but like to save money on a property. And I mean, this is bad. This is really, really bad. I mean, from some scholars and lawyers. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know the full extent of the law here. But from what I'm reading, from even liberal lawyers, this could be something she could face up to 30 years in prison for. So, without any further delay, I'm going to go ahead and put the clip on so you guys could watch this and just be amazed. I mean, this is just incredible stuff. Now, I don't know this gentleman here. This is actually the first time I even hear of Spectrum News. So this is new to me also, but I saw this in a couple different podcasts on video, and I had to talk about this because this is important. We could talk about entertainment and what's coming up in movies and food reviews and my regular podcasts and this and that, but this is she what she did. She weaponized the Department of Justice. She literally had a judge who's a Democrat in her pocket. Lawyers, obviously, the lawyers they were prosecuting were all in her pocket, and she falsified all kinds of records to try to make a case where there was no case. There's no crime, there's no victims, and yet she wanted to destroy Trump so badly that this woman, who, by the way, is on video running her campaign based on I'm gonna get Trump, and she's on the streets dancing with Chuck Schumer, okay? And then she has the audacity to go on video and claim that, oh, I never ran my campaign saying I'm going to get Trump. Woman, you're on video literally saying, to other people that this is what you're going to do. You're going to make his life a pain in the ass, right?
He's called me venomous.
We will fight back to your attempt to bring Trumpism to New York City.
He's called me disgraceful.
Of the fact that they stole the Supreme Court seat. An illegitimate president and an illegitimate member of the United States Supreme Court.
He's called me radical.
Listen, we know he's crazy. We know he doesn't have a sound mind. We know he's out of control. We know he's losing it. We know his days are numbered and we will come together.
He's called me a racist.
We've got to stand up to an administration which is too male, too pale, and too stale. Too male, too pale, and too stale. Too male, too...
And everything this woman says is a lie. I mean, she's a hypocrite. I don't understand what we're waiting for to see her, behind bars. But this woman belongs in prison. Okay, I hope these charges stick, and I hope they prosecute. I'm tired of seeing, social media and all this stuff with all this anecdotal, stuff from people posting, and nobody goes to prison. I want to see her locked up. I want to see Fannie Willis locked up. These people belong in prison. Jack Smith, I want to see him get locked up. Nancy Pelosi needs to be investigated for the January 6th stuff, which we know she was guilty of. Okay? Maureen Bowser, the D.C. mayor at the time, was also behind that. Okay? They instigated that crap. So, they need to be investigated and possibly locked up. It's time they start, actually locking these people up. And check the video out. This is about an 11-minute clip. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but there's certain parts I do want people to pay attention to, and we're going to go over it. I'll stop along the way, and I'll give you my input. But really, pay attention how unhinged and how deranged and crazy this woman is. It's an incredible thing to witness. Here, let's play this.
Welcome to Inside City Hall for Thursday, April 17th, 2025. I'm Errol Lewis. We begin tonight with an exclusive interview with New York State Attorney General Letitia James. As we have been reporting, President Trump ramped up his feud with James yesterday, targeting her specifically over alleged falsified real estate records. James has been at the forefront of the legal fight against the Trump administration on multiple issues. She joins us now with more, and we'll see if we can straighten a lot of this out. Good to see you, Ms. James. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Errol.
Absolutely. What is going on here? Did anybody contact you before this letter went out accusing you of this, that, and the other and making a criminal referral about real estate transactions?
No, not at all. And let me just say to all New Yorkers and to all Americans, the allegations are baseless. The allegations are nothing more than a revenge tour. And as you mentioned, my office was successful in securing a $454 million judgment against Donald Trump and others for exaggerating the value of his assets. He engaged in a pattern and practice of fraud. And the interest is accruing each and every day while the case is on appeal in the First Department. It's important that individuals know that this is nothing more than the continuation of the tour. He went after law firms, universities, immigrants, women. Thousands of federal employees right now are unemployed.
Okay, let me stop it right there. The question is about her, right? But look what she's doing. She's trying to flip this around, like on her idea of what Trump has done. Trump has never gone after anybody. They've gone after him. But see, this is what the liberal women, especially black women, Indian women, all these women of color, I'm Latino, so I don't give a crap. This bitch right here, over here, my bad. This bitch over here, her right here, that lunatic right there, that bitch right there. Okay, this is what she does. She starts talking about Trump when the question's about her, right? Now, Letitia, why don't you answer questions about yourself? Okay, why you got to bring all these stuff into it that nobody's asking you about? You crazy woman. First of all, Trump never went after any of these institutions. What Trump is doing is fighting back. But what the left does, especially these women, like I said, they use their sexual, selves as victims. Oh, he went after women. No, he didn't. You are women going after him. So if he answers back, that's him going after you. Nobody asked you to get involved and try to play politics and rig elections. Who asked you to be involved in this? Letitia James, just because you're a woman, now he can't answer back. He has to stay quiet. He can't say, "Oh well, I can't say nothing because she's a black woman and that makes me a like a homo sapien who hates black women and misogynist and oh my God, I'm a racist. I can't say nothing about black women who go after me and lie about me because that would make me the bad guy." No, it doesn't work that way. We're in an equal society. We live right now in an era where, I don't give a crap if you're white, black, Chinese, whatever, Russian. I don't give a shit. All right, my family's mixed. I don't care about identity politics. Okay, I'm Cuban, I'm Latino, and I voted for Trump. I'm a deplorable lifetime member. Okay, Hillary? Now, Letitia over here is playing race politics. And notice she's talking about everything that she's claiming Trump is guilty of, but saying that all the allegations against me are baseless. Okay? That's her saying that it's all a lie, right? And this is why I stopped it here. I want you guys to focus on this part of the video where she's saying it's all baseless. This is a lie. Now, watch closely to the rest of this. It gets disgusting how much of a hypocrite this crazy woman is. Keep watching, guys.
Our government is in chaos and in disarray. Medicaid, Social Security, CFPB, and the list goes on and on and on. And as you know, as you mentioned, each and every day, my office is leading the fight against these executive orders, which have no legal import at all.
She doesn't mention any executive order exactly. She just says these executive orders. Which ones, Letitia? because Biden passed a shitload of executive orders. Trump's passed an executive. Every president passes executive orders. And when you're literally inheriting a mess by the Biden Harris Obama administration that was rigged in 2020, I don't care. I'll say it. When you deal with that and you have to come in and clean that mess up, you're going to have to do a lot of executive orders. And who the hell is Letitia James to start making up charges that have nothing to do with anything? I mean, she's going after him for mortgage fraud? Really, Letitia James? What is that going to do with the executive orders? With anything else that you're babbling about? What is the case that you brought up against him, which is BS to begin with, have to do with any executive orders? You see what she's trying to do? She's trying to manipulate the conversation to demonize Trump, but kind of dancing around the initial question about what she did. Okay, so whatever she did, she doesn't want to talk about that. She just wants to use this show's platform to demonize Trump. That's all this is about. But let's continue. And keep watching. This gets funnier.
Have no legal significance, and we are standing up for the rights and privileges of New Yorkers and Americans. I will not be silenced. I will not be bullied. I will not bend. I will not break, and I will not bow to anyone. No one is above the law, including the President of these United States.
Okay.
Except for maybe you, Letitia James, because it sure do sound like you are above the law, and nobody is above the law. Let's not forget. But again, remember, none of the executive orders has anything to do with that question. Anything that she just said right now has absolutely nothing to do with the question that the host asked of her. She literally bypassed the whole thing. He just says it's all baseless, right? Okay, keep watching.
Mr. Miller, Letitia James says the allegations against her are nothing more than a revenge tour by the Trump administration. What's your response?
My response is that Letitia James is one of the most corrupt, shameless individuals ever to hold public office. She's guilty not only of those crimes, but of countless more crimes by using and abusing her public office to try to persecute an innocent man, depriving him of his rights, engaging in a conspiracy to obstruct our election, and to overthrow our democratic processes and procedures. She is guilty of multiple significant serial criminal violations.
It's James, the Attorney General.
Oh, okay.
So that's her house.
So only she lives there?
Her family lives there.
Oh, really? Oh,
But,
okay.
but they have apartments. The C of O should not have changed. It's just,
Well, it's kind of confusing because it says 1 to 4 family, and then it says just one family.
on the C of O.
Questions also raised about James's Brooklyn home. 2001 city records show it was a 5-family dwelling, which experts say would require a commercial property loan with perhaps higher interest rates. But James allegedly listed it as a 4-family unit.
We were knocking earlier, and no one was answering, so we weren't sure.
Okay. Well, you can always leave a note.
Just let me ask you about some of the specifics in the letter. They're saying that your house in Brooklyn is a legal 5-family and the mortgage on it is for a 4-family house. Is that true?
So let me just say that, Errol, as any good attorney, I will not litigate this case in a camera. It's important that we will respond to these allegations at the appropriate time and in an appropriate way. But I will not go back and forth with respect to these baseless allegations. I am more focused, again, on standing up for the freedoms, the liberties, and for the rule of law in the state of New York.
Okay. Mar-a-Lago is in Florida. Let's start there. Second of all, Letitia, you said they were baseless, meaning that these charges aren't real. But then you go in now and you say, I'm not going to litigate this on a show. Woman, that's all you've been doing. You've been litigating not only your fraud, you've been literally throwing shade at the president for something that has nothing to do with questions that are based on you. Okay, so you're literally denying to litigate on this show when you're litigating on this show. I mean, the hypocrisy and stupidity of this woman is beyond belief. I mean, this is high bar stupid. This is like Special Olympic stupid. That's what this woman is. Okay, I don't know if maybe she is because the cross-eyed thing has her going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I don't know what the hell it is, but this cross-eyed imbecile, Letitia James, literally is litigating on this show, and then she has the nerve to say, "I'm not going to litigate on this show." I mean, what are you talking about? You see how stupid this is? This is what passes for a district attorney in New York. This woman has to be thrown in prison immediately. She's committing treason at this point. This is treasonous behavior, what she's doing, okay? And look, I'm a constitutionalist. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm a registered independent, and I'm a constitutionalist. I love the rule of the republic. I don't think this is a democracy, no matter how much the left wants to claim it's a democracy. It's not. It's a republic for which we stand, okay? And this woman here has it completely twisted because guess what? In a republic, in any land of law, nobody is above the law. But she claims that while the president is not above the law, anything that they say about her is a lie, and whatever she does it's fine because somehow in her mind she's above the law. Look at her face. She thinks she owns the country. She thinks she's like literally in charge of the United States of America. Okay, which she's gonna find out very soon that she's not when they put her fat ass in prison. Keep watching. I'm gonna just play the whole thing because this is too funny. Just keep watching, guys.
I was under the impression by all of this that what they were really looking for is what they got, which is a headline saying, Tish James is under a criminal investigation. Is that pretty much what's going on here?
Yeah, that's what they got. That's what they got. And it's unfortunate that you have some of these right-wing conservative individuals who are camped out in front of my home and in front of the homes of my relatives in Virginia, harassing them each and every day. And it's unfortunate, knocking on the doors of my neighbors and the neighbors of my relatives in the state of Virginia. And it is nothing more than a headline, nothing more than, again, retaliation against all of the actions that I have taken successfully against Donald Trump.
Okay. Well, yeah, as you know, members of the New York press corps are not shy about this stuff. And believe me, we'd be there in the hunt if there was anything to hang on to. I didn't find very much. That's partly why.
Okay, once again, she says it's all because of Donald Trump, right? He's weaponizing government. What have y'all been doing for the last 4 years? Hell, last 9 years against Trump, besides weaponizing government against him? Letitia, let me explain something to you. When you have to make charges up, okay, that really should hit home because you're guilty of them, it might not be a good idea to try, this on somebody like Donald Trump, who is not gonna stop until he sees justice. And this is the fuck around and find out era, and she's gonna find out very soon that her effing around is gonna get her thrown right under a prison. I kind of hope that she ends up there real soon, and it's all caught on video, because I really want to post a video celebrating her in handcuffs. She belongs behind bars, everybody. She belongs doing hard time, and she's never going to get the $450 million lawsuit plus interest every day. Are you kidding me, Letitia James? Are you seriously deranged? How stupid are you? Do you really think you're going to take Mar-a-Lago or any of these properties? And first of all, you're a district attorney in New York. What the hell are you doing trying to bring up a case in Florida? You're not a district attorney in Florida. Hell, you don't even live in the place where you're a district attorney, which is another violation of the law. And you should be disbarred and thrown out just for that. In fact, if they throw you out just for that, every case like the Trump one goes away. Gone with the wind, Letitia James. And all you did was waste time, taxpayer money, and make a complete imbecile of yourself with one eye here and the other eye over there, not knowing which way you're looking, like an idiot. And like I said, screw it. I'm just gonna probably play this whole thing. This is funny as well. I don't know. It's about 11 minutes, and I don't want to overdo it here, but I'm already 25 minutes in, so.
I was asking you about it. Let me move on, though, and ask you about some of the litigation that you are involved in.
Move on. Let's see what they say here.
The funding for college students, that kind of slipped under the radar. There's so many other different things that are going on, but there's a threat to funding that you and some of your fellow attorneys general are suing over. What's the latest on that?
So we've got, Errol, a number of cases, including defending the rights of universities, defending academic freedom, and protecting private institutions. And so we are currently, a complaint has been filed, and we have filed amicus briefs in support of their position. And it's important that individuals know that funding obligations come from Congress. They have the power of the purse and not the President of the United States. It's also important to know that he's exceeded his authority in a number of these executive orders, and he's engaged in arbitrary and capricious decisions which are in violation of the law. And that's why we
Wait, I thought you didn't litigate on video, Letitia James. Another lie. And by the way, the power of the purse right now is Congress and the Senate, right? Congress has the power of the purse. Oh, that's right. We have control of Congress. We have control of the power of the purse, Miss Letitia James. Did you forget that part? Because, yeah, we kind of have that for the next at least year or so. So you're kind of SOL on that. But why are we talking about other things than what we need to be talking about, which is your fraud, Letitia James? Huh?
We have been successful in getting temporary restraining orders and preliminary injunctions in the majority of our cases.
We have seen some students and other New Yorkers who have been unceremoniously snatched up, and I don't know if the word deportation is correct. Some of them look like the definition of renditions, where people are just sent to other countries or other states without any due process at all.
Deport them all that are illegal.
Yeah, we have been in touch with the ACLU and a number of other organizations all across this country. You would call it rendition. I call it kidnapping. At the end of the day, it's about the lack of due process. And it's important that individuals understand if they do it to one person, they can do it to all of us. And that's why we've got to stand up and protect our freedoms and our rights under the Constitution.
I know there's a lot going on, so I'll have to jump around a little bit here. We're closing in on the ending of a budget that turned in a lot of ways on discovery reform. Was your office involved in that? Do you have a position on whether or not that law needs to change?
We were involved in the discussions to a certain extent, but it's my understanding that the 5 New York City district attorneys have come to a conceptual agreement as they move the budget forward. The number one concern was the dismissal of some cases and the prejudice to defendants. And it's my understanding that both sides have come to some agreement. And I am glad that we can at least move forward in passing a budget for the state of New York.
Right. And then I guess going back to this whole issue of the Trump administration suggesting that there be a criminal referral. Do you have a relationship with Pam Bondi? I believe you both were attorneys general around the same time when she was Florida State Attorney General.
No, there was no overlapping. So unfortunately, I don't have a relationship with Miss Bondi.
Okay. And then, you know, when they come at you a lot of different ways. There was a headline about them revoking your security clearance. Has that happened? And as a practical matter, does that make it harder for you to do your job?
Errol, I don't know what that means. I have my own detail. I'm not a federal employee. I'm a state employee. And as a result of serving as the Attorney General of the state of New York, you have detail, you have detectives.
Well, let me just stop right there, and I'm not gonna play the whole thing because it kind of like it looks like it's kind of going a different direction. I don't think she's gonna answer any direct questions, but again, she's the Attorney General in New York, right? She doesn't have jurisdiction in Florida, so why does she bring up a case dealing with Mar-a-Lago in Florida? How does that work exactly? How is that helping anybody in New York, Letitia James? And you want to claim that you were not campaigning on getting Trump when we all know that's not true? When you did exactly that? Folks, if you're still falling for the grifter over here, I hate to break it to you, but you've been brainwashed by the Democrats. Sucks. I understand. But hey, it's okay. It's still time to get your shit together and, you know, get your head on right and stop the brainwashing. You saw it for yourself. She wouldn't answer directly. She kept litigating against Trump, but when asked directly about her fraud, she refused to answer. She just, oh, it's baseless, right? Which means is a lie. But then she wouldn't go any further, saying she wouldn't litigate it. But if you say it's baseless, you're literally litigating it, but you don't want to say any more. You're just saying, oh, it's a lie because it's about her, right? So it has to be a lie. She can't be the bad guy, but, you know, she is the bad guy. Nobody asked Letitia James to get involved. She just did. Why? Because somebody asked Letitia James, and it was Obama. It was Biden. It was Harris. It was the liberal left. See, this is all one big RICO act, folks. This is what this is. They all conspired to get Donald Trump to make sure he would lose the 2024 election. But we, the American people, made sure that it was too big to rig. And now, payback's a bitch. Karma, baby. With that said, this is going to be the end of it, folks. Keep checking up. I'm going to bring more videos to you like this, and I'm going to keep giving you my commentary. Until next time, please, again, subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up. I want to get the finger. Give me the finger, thumbs up, please. You know, tell me what you think in the comments below, and notification, very important. Hit the notification button, so every time I'm gonna post a video, you get notified that it's posted, it's online, it's there for you to see. Till next time, everybody. The Jackal. Peace out.